Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, April 28th. We're looking at Window Traders market profile of the S&NQ. Interesting day. Looked like for a minute there, the bulls were really just going to give up everything they worked so hard for by taking out Friday's low and coming back to balance after coming up and coming out of balance off that 65 somewhat range, $65 range. But no. They defend Friday's lows, end up with a typical V-shaped recovery to take the trend day down back and close with overlap and a higher value and one time framing up on the daily for 5 days. Now, again, we did take out last week's high, but again, I'm keeping the weeklies in balance because I'm using March 31st, that week's high, as my balance high on the weeklies. We got somewhat into the gap in ES and SPY, but still rather large. We said it would not get filled without single prints. Well, we never went trend up. So unless we gap higher tomorrow or go trend, it won't get filled that easily. NQ, on the other hand, still with a price vacuum above. Now, we have nothing to lean on going into tomorrow. Righty just has the day's high and low. They had their double inside day up, which paid early, but that was it. It failed basically after D period. ES and NQ, again, only have the day's highs and lows. Now, the outside week's up, you have all week. So early in A, it paid a bit, but then after that, they gave it up. But it is the whole week. So we have to see how the market acts for the next 4 days, right? It's not an outside day up, it's an outside week up, just like the inside week, the prior week. I had a good day in my personal account. I had a couple losses, though, in it. And then late in the afternoon, I gave back a bunch in one of my prop accounts. Did not think we would retrace as much as we did. So early on, though, it started off looking on the long side. ES had a very small gap higher, which failed. NQ never gapped higher, right? He also gapped, but closed it. But initially in NQ, I got the long to get the overnight high and then made some money on a couple of ebb and flow trades. However, it did pull back, and against the 144, I took one and gave back some as it went right through that. I did make money on the turnover at 945 as it popped back up, but the indices weren't up, but the market was still pretty strong. And then again, it came back to the 144, and I took a long against it and lost on that one. So I still had a decent A period, but I had 2 losses. I thought the market, since we got the overnight high, and with the value being higher at that point, thought there was a good chance to bounce off of those. I switched short in B to get A's low and did okay on that. And then I actually made money on the short in B against the 144. In fact, you could have shorted B and C about 10 times at least, maybe more, against both the opening in NQ and the 144 and made money. I only did it the one time. Did nothing in C. I did get the short in D to get the IB low. After that, I did take a quick long. Now, I made money on it. So I didn't think we would go trend right away. Made money on it. But then when it started getting some extension, just stayed away from it. I shorted E period against the single prints. Actually lost on a short in F. On a short. Just didn't hold it long enough. Took it off for loss when it went back up. I did short G period twice against singles, which paid, and the single print fill because they had a small one. Again, they had a triple distribution for a little while. I took a long in I to stop the one-time framing down. So I made money on that. Then I really thought we might hold the trend, or if we take it back, we'll roll back over. We had lowered POC. We had unchanged value at the time, but it wasn't to be. So I made money on a short in J, thinking it could be the afternoon rally high. But then I started playing, and I shorted K period. Probably started that one way too early. I shorted 07 in K. I kept adding, taking off, adding, taking off. It was working kind of. Wasn't doing that bad. But then L started going, took it off, and I ended up losing money on the trade. Lost about $3,000 total. Not a big deal. Up a lot in this account. But still, I never want to do that. Good thing I got out when I did. I think I got out the rest of them at 75 because obviously we went up 100 points after that. So, good day in my personal account. Lost in one of the props. Not a big deal. I'm not going to go over destinations. Just chart-wise quickly. Again, we have 2 days to go now in the trading month, right? Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I got to switch over. There we go. Again, it's a very nice looking monthly candle, even though it's down. So the more we can close near the highs, the better the odds possibly in May to maybe take it out and put the monthly back to balance and leave this excess. Possibly. We'll see. But it's still down for now. The weekly. Yes, we did take out last week's high. But again, March 31st high, this one is the more important one to me. So until we get that, I'm calling the weekly balance for now. Outside week up, though, still. And the daily is up. One time framing up now, 5 days. Gap below is our main focus down here, but you also have a gap here that's a main focus. But a nice little almost hammer on that close. Very, very light volume. 44 million, as you can see. So our range, remember, was $8.50, and we almost took it all back. So that's like a $17 range, down and up. And it's only 44 million shares. No plays whatsoever. Hope you had a good day trading. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.